We dance the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's good delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse that's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunipple, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view, right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, live in the Ice Cave in this snowy, snow-covered Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, guys, as I came on earlier today, as you already know, Lou Anarumo, Frank Pollock, James Bacci, I don't know if I'm messing his name up, and Marion Hobby have all been relieved of their duties as the Cincinnati Bengals coaching staff. I gave my thoughts a little bit earlier today. You guys are blowing the chat up. You've been blowing up my Facebook and Twitter. I love it. I appreciate every single one of you. Sorry, guys, I haven't been able to answer all of you guys, but I'll try to get back to you. But let's get to the co-fan of the year and get his thoughts. He is none other than Bengals Captain. What's up, Cap?
All right, let's fix your mic.
What's wrong with my mic?
Is your mic plugged in?
Yeah. It's not plugged in. What the heck?
I'm like, it looks like it's not.
Hold on a second. I think my cat's been down here doing something. Hang on a second. I didn't even know the mic wasn't plugged in. There he's all P.
That
What
is
the heck?
root of all evil. And it's a P word. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You've got to be kidding me.
You'll find it.
How did you unplug all of this?
I'm gonna talk to
Okay.
Chad. Yeah.
Hold on, Zach.
You heard that. So my mic. I do what everybody else does on Twitch. Like everybody in the world's got
Plugged in earlier, I think.
And the software I've got, it's got a limiter, so I can yell. I can lose it, and it will limit. It will not blow the mic out. I'll keep cats fornicating on the court. My goodness. Hooday Dalton, what's going on? Man, a lot of people in chat. All of you are amazing. So I'm sick as hell. The more we start talking about this, trust me, energy level is going to come up, but we have got a lot to talk about. Holy shit.
Is that better?
It's crazy. Oh, yeah. You sound amazing now.
Okay. That was
Damn.
weird. I don't know. Like, dude, my cat, my daughter's cat, has knocked all kinds of stuff down here. Like, I have a shelf up here. I had a whole bunch of bobbleheads up there. They all broke because the cat decided to jump up there and knock them all down. Yeah, so I'm not very happy. And somehow I have no freaking clue how she did, but she unplugged my mic.
I mean, that's like world domination level cat mischief.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So I hope. Did anybody hear the intro? Could anybody hear anything I was saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I heard
okay.
the intro. It was just like you were blowing the mic out. We could understand it, but you're much clearer now.
Anyway, so as I was saying, Black Monday for the Bengals. They fired Lou Anarumo, Frank Pollock, James Bocci, and Marion Hobby. Cap, your thoughts? Are you surprised by any of this? I mean, look,
I'm surprised by Lou.
Okay.
I'm surprised by Lou. I thought he did enough at the end, and so if I don't know, everybody chat. Let me know if you remember. But when Lou started, we had offensive line coach. I'm completely
the one before Pollock,
Turner,
yes, who was he was awful.
Turner's attitude with players was
Yeah.
rough, and I heard some stuff. I think I said some stuff on the show about some of the Zoom calls and how degrading he was to player with like family in the room. It just like I get it. There's something about like dropping an F-bomb and being hard nosed and that's fine, but you don't necessarily have to be. You don't have to be degrading
Right.
to professionals. So, that was a mess. But then on the other hand, Lou, I was hearing there were some communication issues early on.
Yeah.
And if you go back to that season, Jesse Bates actually says, yes, we addressed some communication issues. Things are better, and they were playing better. And I took that behind the scenes as he stopped MFing people because like Lou's a tough dude too.
Yeah, he is.
And maybe that style didn't mesh. Obviously it didn't mesh with Carlos Dunlap. He wanted out. Carlos wasn't ready to go through another change of culture and yada yada. So we changed that. Everything was great for a while. Lo and behold, we have to simplify the defense again. I don't know why. And
Well,
it
see,
kind of drove me nuts.
I have a thought on that, and now I know you brought it up where Jesse said it was communication issues, and there's part of me that I agree with that, but there's part of me that I think Lou's system is unique and it's not for everybody, and it's hard for young guys to learn, and I think that's once Jesse was gone, who really knew how to put everybody in the right spot. That really hurt our defense, and he wasn't able to fix that. And one of the things that I think, and I love Lou. This is not no Lou hate.
I'm gonna miss him, man.
Yeah, this is no Lou hate, but I do think that his lack of trying to play the younger guys and developing them, because you got 2 first-round picks, and legitly Dax Hill and Miles Murphy. Both of our first-round picks, and they really haven't developed. Say what you want about if they should have been drafted, whatever. They were first-round picks. You've got to get something out of them, and Lou and this defense really didn't. I mean, Dax, I think, is going to be a good cornerback, but we didn't draft him for that. We drafted him for safety, and Lou signed off on that, because they wouldn't have done it if Lou couldn't say, yeah, I think he'll be a good safety. Those are things that I think was Lou's failure. Now, when we were 4-8, he had to start playing the younger guys, and the defense started playing better. Now, if he'd done that sooner, maybe it's different. I don't know. I'm just my opinion of what is. So what I said earlier today, I think the Bengals are really going to try to sign T. Higgins. We know they're going to sign Jamar Chase. So I give Charlie Goldschmidt credit for this. He said this last night on Fox 19 that they need a defense coordinator to come in here and get young cheap guys on this defense to play good, because you're not going to be able to afford everybody. You're just not. You got to go cheap somewhere. And cheap's a bad word. I don't mean cheap, but you're not going to have as much money to spend on the defense as you are the offense. You need a guy who come in here, and it's an easy defense to learn, to figure out, and to be productive in, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I'm looking in chat here. Dalton has got to go to a Zoom meeting. He's got 2 questions. One, can we get a GM? I don't know that we'll ever get a de facto GM unless something changes with the way, because Duke is
he's the de facto GM.
Acting GM.
Yeah.
Can ZT give up play calling? We can talk at length about that.
That's not the problem.
a little bit later, but yeah, I will say just before you go, top 5 offense in the NFL, top 5 scoring, red zone efficiency, better than it's been in a long time. And fans don't understand who's calling what play. because when people try, they think they're tearing down Zac. What they're doing is taking away from Dan Pitcher, because Dan Pitcher has a bigger influence in that offense. He's called plays. People forget Callahan called plays. He's a head coach because he called plays. I'll never forget the fans who just ripped Zac Taylor for the Tyler Boyd throw behind the line of scrimmage that ended up getting picked off. Callahan admitted he called that play. Zac didn't say that. Zac in his presser did not mention that. Zac's not going to. Right. Callie later admitted that was his call. And you know what? It wasn't executed. It could have been a huge trick play. It wasn't executed well. So we as fans don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. But I'm telling you, it's not all Zac. So the good stuff that happened this year, a lot of it's Dan Pitcher.
Yes.
Jamar Chase gave Dan Pitcher props for moving him around as opposed to Callahan.
Well, it's like
Callahan was bad.
I said this at the beginning of the year too. It's also like addition by subtraction. We lost TB. That made them have to move or gave them more of an option to move Jamar around. You didn't always come out in a 3 wide receiver.
I think they could have moved him earlier.
Oh, they could have, but it was more
not what Callie wanted.
But it's more they forced them to do it. They had to do it because they didn't have really a third.
I don't think they had to even still. I just think I really like Pitcher. I like there are a lot of reasons that I like Pitcher. I like Pitcher a lot. He's an up and comer. He's an up and comer.
He's not going to be our OC very long. He's going to be a head coach somewhere. I guarantee you that.
You know, and here's the funny thing: if he's a head coach somewhere, it's because he's calling a lot more plays than people realize. Some Bengals fans just hate Zac Taylor. Let's just get it out of the way. They just hate him. No matter what happens, they're going to hate him. They've made up their mind. That's fine, whatever. But some of the same people were begging for Eric Bieniemy. And the whole question of, is he calling plays? Is he not calling plays? They're arguing the opposite when they wanted Eric Bieniemy. And it's a similar situation because no one really knows who does what under Andy Reid. Obviously, people are doing something because they're getting looks. But it's a similar situation in Cincinnati. Zac Taylor is not calling every play. Zac Taylor is not dictator calling plays. Can Zac improve? Yes, we all can. That's coach speak for me, but everybody can.
One thing I want to ask you, Cap. Now we had a new coaching position created this year in the passing game coordinator. Now with Frank Pollock being no longer the offensive line coach and the run coordinator, do you see? Zach kind of addressed it. He said he didn't know. Do you see? I think they're going to. Do you see them making that two separate jobs, an offensive line coach and a run game coordinator? Because everything's getting more specific.
It's a wide open question. They could.
Yeah, I think it would help because I think the running game I think has gotten better. I think Chase Brown was a better fit than Mixon. Again, I love Mixon, but I think Chase Brown was a better fit. They still has to mesh it a little bit better, I think, than what they've been doing. And a running game coordinator could help, could not. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there that I think it could be.
You know, for the problems that we've had on the offensive line, and you know, Teddy, if you're listening, I'm sorry. Like, hey, you're doing great. There are a lot of good moments, but all we as fans can see. Honestly, when I listen to the offensive line gurus, they don't even know everything. They don't know particular technique being taught inside that position group. They don't know what's being asked of them. There's a lot of things they don't know. I mean, is Joe screwing up the protection calls, or did that move back to Teddy? Like, I don't know. I haven't heard about that a lot, but all we see is results on the field. And when Joe doesn't have enough time to think, that's a problem. And it's like, no matter what we've done all these years, add whoever, OBJ playing out of his mind. I get it. He's playing on a broken leg, which I hope we can get him to retire in Cincinnati.
Well, the interesting thing is he said they were asking him today if he had to have surgery. He said it's just going to heal on its own, which is surprising.
Yeah, dude is
the beast.
Yeah, what was Unbroken? Was that the comic book movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a movie.
Bruce Willis? Yeah.
Yes,
that's
or
basically
that was yes, I know what you're talking about. I think
Unbroken, Unbreakable, something like that.
Unbreakable. I think that's what it was.
Yep,
Anyway,
yep.
whatever.
Yeah, he's Bruce Willis. It's like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Yeah.
Mims looks like he's going to be a stud. Teddy K, hey, I'm not worried about anybody's age. Teddy K is one of those guys that's going to work, and Teddy K is not old. But
No.
I feel like, all right, people are going to start talking about age. No. Teddy K's got years left in him. Questions about the guard situations.
Yeah.
Volson is a great dude. Karras is a great dude. All I want to know is why is Joe on his ass?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Fixed.
Yeah, that's the problem I had with Pollock. I don't think he developed those guys like Cordell Volson got to a point. He didn't make the next step. I feel there's more out of Volson, and maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's all there is. I don't know, but
I got to think there's more out of everybody.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. But.
Even OBJ said that Pollock helped him, in year 7. So thank you, Pollock, for helping him. Now, he was further along in his career, and he was also first-round draft pick. Mm-hmm. What about the other guys? Maybe his technique, his teaching wasn't good enough to get them coached up.
Right.
But the next guy will be. And Chad is blowing up. I wish I had the ability to show.
Here, I got a couple here. I wanted to.
Okay.
Somebody asked our wish list on. There it is. Our wish list on defensive coach. I don't have any specific names, but going back to what I said before is where I think we need a guy who can take. And I hate to use the word cheap, but they can't go out and spend a whole bunch of money on free agency on defense.
We need value.
We need guys who can bring guys. When you have Miles Murphy, you have Dax Hill, and you really haven't got a ton out of them. You got to get a guy who can develop the younger talent. I'm more of wanting a young and upcoming, hungry guy. Who that is, I don't know. Somebody who wants to get there and make a name for himself. The guys who, we already got the retreads, which I'm not against it. I'm just more of the young, upcoming, hungry guy. Who that is, I don't know. Who's on your wish list?
I don't know. I see what everybody's talking about. Dennis Allen, they're talking about Saleh, all that stuff. All that. I get it. I feel like someone who can keep the energy of the group, but I think it's also going to be important on who they bring in as their position coaches, because for me, that D-line coach is super, super important. We have enough talent to generate pressure on that D-line. And what was it? Trey ended up with 17.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Everybody else had...
I don't even know.
It was like 17.5, 17.5, 18.5, 18.5. I'm sorry, I should know this, but he basically equaled the rest of the D-line.
Yeah. And Joshua Osai started making some noise toward the end, but which I would bring Joshua Osai back. Just Miles Murphy as being a number 1 pick, you needed more out of him.
He's not had the opportunity, in my opinion.
I agree with that. That goes back to where
I want to see him on the field more. I want to see Battle on the field more. Battle has made mistakes, but that's what you get with a younger player. The longer you keep him on, the more he learns at live action. Battle's got some great instincts. He is a hitter. The dude makes plays, and we came around to that late. There were some complications apparently in the defense and the calls, and it took how long to fix that? Again, I'll say it a million times. I'm gonna get sentimental. Wife is home now, and when I'm off the show, we're gonna get sentimental, a little teary-eyed, probably talking about Lou, because we've taken pictures with him. And, he used to come in and have dinner and talk, and he was a very engaging guy with fans. He was always super kind to us. Any of my opinions about the length of time it took to write the defense, I could have no idea what I'm talking about. He could have been battling for base and disappointed, and they could have screwed him over on draft. There was so much to go on behind the scenes. Yeah. All we can talk about is what we saw as the results, and changes were made that helped a ton. So the question is, why were they made so late? I think part of that played into the decision.
Right.
And
That goes back to my point where you said Miles Murphy needed to play more. That's one of the problems I think with Lou is he did not play the young guys enough to find out what we had, to develop more, stuff like that. That's where I think he needs to. That was because once we went 4-8, and he had to play the young guys, the defense started playing better. All right, Carl here. Everyone wants an easy scapegoat. Some of these keyboard warriors think Zac is an easy target. Players love him and respect him. And the thing is, like, the players love and respect all the coaches, even Lou, because they played their ass off for him. So all this talk before where Zac's losing the locker room, nobody's listening to Lou, but that's bullcrap. Look at the last 5 games. They all were still bought in. So, I mean, that goes, I'd shout to the character of the team and the character of the coaches here. Let's see here. What we got here?
a lot of people with mixed feelings on Lou Anarumo.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. It's like I can see why it had to be done. They've got to get the next hire right, and I know Lou's gonna land on his feet and rock out somewhere. And I'm sad to see him go.
Oh,
but
yeah, me too. He'll
also,
get
if we had
job.
an average defense this year, we'd be in the playoffs. So
yeah. Chris here. I'm a ZT fan. He has grown with Burrow and continues to. I'm happy/sad with the firing of Pollock. Job was saved because of the Super Bowl run. Going to miss Lou. Yeah, and Pollock, he could have. Yeah, that's one that he could have went a couple years ago, but it was time. Those are two positions that it's been time for a change. It's just you can't go 2 years in a row with the same problem. You know, the offensive line. They keep adding guys. And it's to a point, but Joe's still getting hit too much. But it's also some of Joe's like it's some of Joe's calls too. There, Cap. You know, Joe holds onto the ball, and sometimes he creates the contact himself. He's got to learn how to stop doing that. Which goes to my point: if we had a more effective running game, he might be able to not to get some of those hits off of him. Well, if we could just run the ball some more.
And somebody, Martin Carr said if we ran the ball more, Joe would be sacked less, always in pass protection. I totally get that. Mm-hmm. What I want or I wish fans would watch, and we watch our own team with a completely different lens than we watch any other team. And I get it. That's normal. But
we
then
think
when
Joe
I
should never
comment
get it, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, when I comment something on Twitter, then some of these people attack me. I'm like, all right, you're using a whole different measuring stick for us, and that's not fair. That's why you think I'm wrong. So when you look at our running, and then I'm watching the Detroit Lions, and everyone's talking about Dan Campbell, I'm talking about the front office, the offensive line, the defensive line, the depth on defense. I mean, their defense is absolutely amazing, and Did Dan Campbell specifically put that together? I don't think largely. I don't know. Defensive coordinator's doing great. Jameer Gibbs. I mean, they've got talent.
It's like William said. He's blaming the front office. It's everybody's fault. It's from the front office.
Everybody has some kind of blame.
Everybody has something to do with it. Yeah.
So we want to talk about one or two play calls over the course of a year. Oh yeah, maybe if Joe would have thrown the ball instead of us trying to kick. Now we didn't realize how big of a problem we had with holding and kicking that early, but
right.
maybe Joe would have maybe Joe would have thrown a pick because Joe threw picks late against the Ravens later. Joe had issues at the Chiefs with a fumble 6. Joe played great and he got better, but even against the Steelers, we saw he had 9 turnovers in the last 6 games, something, there was a little spike, things that could get cleaned up. Mm-hmm. But let's say that Zac puts it in Burrow's hands and we win. We got one more game. We're in the playoffs. Are we good enough to really make noise? I'm going to tell everybody, hell yeah. That's what we do. But really? William Wilson.
I don't disagree with this one.
William Wilson. It's
William
front
Wilson.
office. They kept Jesse Bates, DJ Reader. Defense would be great.
I don't disagree with that. I don't know about great. I don't know about great, but they'd be a lot better.
I am definitely feeling that I've been wrong about how I've looked at the business decisions in the past. And it's easy to do with hindsight because Jesse Bates, blah, blah, blah. I get it. We've never done a deal with that agent, and T. Freaking Higgins left that
Yep.
agent. That's how bad that agent is.
And that's how bad he wants to stay here.
Let's take Jesse Bates off the table, though. We should have. There was no reason not to keep Reader. Now I was going the age thing and the injury thing, but DJ Reader,
keep him.
DJ Reader has rehabbed from the injury before. DJ Reader came back better. DJ Reader is somebody that we knew his work ethic and his character. We should have known he was going to come back better than ever, and it shouldn't have been an issue. So we're spending a lot of money on defense. That's really,
the thing.
I'm not worried.
Well, I think that's why I kind of goes to my point here. We signed Jamar. We're not going to be able to spend as much money on defense. That's why we need a guy who can get these younger guys to play.
Maybe, but I think we could still spend it better. Because
for sure.
Rankins flashed when he was healthy.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it have been better to have both Reader and Rankins? You've said that before.
I have. I would like to have both of them. We could afford them. Could have afforded them.
Some of the Geno Stone. Could we have done more eval to figure out how he would have fit better earlier on than kind of. And then, man, now I feel bad because we wasted how much of his season, and he was getting hate, and he had family members online going after people. I don't know if anybody knew about that, but yeah, they were being defensive, and lo and behold, who led the team in interceptions? Geno Stone. It's like, oh man, we could have adapted earlier. We could have.
I think that's the thing I'm kind of saying there, Cap, is Lou didn't figure it out quick enough. That's kind of where I'm at. We need to get and that's where I think Lou was stubborn to not try to play the younger guys. That's my whole thing. Because once he started playing the younger guys, we started playing better. It seemed like. So I'm not saying that's the whole key. I'm just going by what I saw on the field. That's what it looks like. Is he needed to be able to change or figure out what would help the guys on the field sooner. If he would have done that, we could have won some more games here. Let's get to Dustin here. One thing we need to own as fans: coaches don't last forever. Now, I don't want to chum and burn.
Churn and burn.
Rip
through coaches.
Yeah, I gotcha. But what do you think about Zac? Is almost time to close to half of Marvin's entire tenure. No,
yeah, he's almost hitting the halfway point of how long Marvin was here, and man, I'm getting old.
Yeah,
you're
getting old. Shoot.
Man, yeah. Let's appreciate what we got when we've got it. There's some weird reasons people hate him, and so I know some of the reasons some people hate him, and they get mad when I've had some private conversations. They get mad, and it's funny. Because it's not based on data. It's not based on anything actual, football.
Some people get mad because, I can make the play calls he makes. Like, you can? I mean, because they had an awesome offense this year. If you can make it, why didn't people stop us?
I had somebody once we're watching a game. I'm not going to say where because that'll narrow. I want this as broad as possible. Mm-hmm. But somebody's like, I know what's coming every single time. And finally I'm like, that's bullshit. All right, let's see it. What's coming now? He got every play call in the entire series wrong. He was trying to be cute, like specifics, and then he started backing off. Mm-hmm. And then near the end, he was about 30% right on run or pass. That's how basic he broke it down. I'm like, you know what? We see something, and suddenly it's confirmation bias. What people don't realize about me, a lot of people talk to me, with me, at me. I see it all. And a lot of Bengals fans hate screens. And then I'm watching the rhetoric, and it's been a little while since we've had a screen that busted, and everybody's like, why doesn't he like screens? I'm thinking, you all hated this man for running screens. Right. Hated. And at the time, we were top 5 in efficiency for EPA on screens. And people were like, oh, these are terrible. and they were one of the best plays that we could run. Fans just they see one thing and they attack, but they'll watch a Chiefs game and see. I mean, I'm sorry, but Mike Tomlin got out-coached against us. Mike Tomlin made some huge errors that I'm like, no one's talking
Zach
about
won't get credit for that.
Yeah.
Bring that up because Mike Tomlin's
it happens
the great.
to everybody.
Mike
those
Tomlin.
fans-
Look, when Mike Tomlin goes and loses to the Ravens in the first round, he's freaking Marvin Lewis. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody. He's
You know
not
what I
even
love
Marvin
about
Lewis.
this?
But
I love that they play each other because flip a coin. We either get to make fun of Mike Tomlin for being Marvin Lewis or Lamar's one and done.
yeah, exactly.
We win.
Win for us. Tommy here says September is why I'm not a fan of Zac Taylor. And then ZT needs to start the season faster.
We definitely need to.
I agree. We need to start the season faster. That is because
I'm gonna make a video.
if we just beat the Patriots, we're in the damn playoffs. It's that simple. Go ahead. We got.
I'm gonna make a video. Chat, slow down a little bit. I'm gonna rip through some comments, but I'm gonna talk about that, and hopefully I don't ruin my future video because sometimes I do that. I get excited on your show.
Where you starting? I'll try to pop them up.
I don't know. What Tommy Pennington had another great comment. Lou never had a defense ranked higher than 16.
Oh, you're
hey,
way up there.
though the Chiefs recently back-to-back Super Bowls, I think their defense was top 10 and top 5 in the playoffs. Like
with our offense, we don't need we need the top.
Yeah, you could see higher than 6. Give us top half.
Yeah,
and a top half O-line.
Look what happened the last 5 games. How is our defense ranked?
Oh my goodness!
I mean, they played better, but they weren't. Still
Andrew Woods, they might be good coaches, just not a good fit with the Bengals plan. You know what? I'll look at that. Absolutely. Let's see. T. Brookie, lack of ability to pick up stunts was scary. Oh yeah, O-lines. I don't understand why stunts were such a problem. And then on the other side of our football, why we never did stunts,
right? I don't know.
It's like we're bitter that they work against our own line, so we're not going to run them on D line.
I remember watching Marion Hobby work with Miles Murphy on stunts last year, the year before that, and they barely ever did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got next.
Mike Madden, kicking cost him a couple games. Do they try McPherson again or look elsewhere? So I dug a little bit on McPherson. And it's funny because when he went on IR, I wasn't the only one questioning if he was hurt the whole year.
I think he was hurt the whole time. Yeah.
And I got nothing. I got nothing. Like
really?
They're very apparently tight-lipped, and I got a good source, and I got nothing. But I did hear a couple of things that's going on with his process that are super easy to fix. And Darren Simmons is aware. So I'm thinking Evan's going to come back, and we're going to forget 2024. Evan's going to be.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Evan's job. I do think they're going to bring Cade York in just for competition. You kind of have to, just the way the season went, but it's going to be Evan.
Andrew Burrow has turnovers because he's expected to do too much. I see why you're saying that. I don't think so because I feel like some of the turnovers are the easy stuff that he should be able to avoid. One of the plays, I can't remember. Maybe it was against the Chargers. He threw a deep ball that got picked, and Chase was double covered. I have no problem with that. That's like a punt. Like that's the type of risk you should take more often. Wing it down there. It's a punt. In fact, it might be better than a punt because you get to pick the spot the ball lands. That's fine with me. But some of the stuff, maybe mentally over the course of the game, he feels more weight and that makes him rush things. Then I've got no argument against that. T-Brookie brought in Trey Hill, free agency, about guys drafted not developed on defense. Yeah. Although this last draft is looking hot. Man, if we can nail another draft.
Oh, dude, Newton looks good. Chris Mims, obviously Mims looks good.
Jenkins.
Jenkins looks good. McKinley Jackson, I think, looks pretty good.
Man, he's going to be something.
I mean, they so far, and so it's like, you won't know until a couple years. Like, as of right now, at the end of 2024 season, that draft looks pretty good. Well, what happens in the future, I don't know, but right now it looks pretty good.
Yep. Tony Blaze surprised Cody Ford stepping up in the line. Yeah, you know what? I was a little worried and critical, but
Dude,
maybe
he impressed the crap
There's
out of me.
depth.
He played guard, left tackle, and right
he
tackle.
did a
on the same
damn good
team.
job
He did good.
on Watt. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Augie, DJ Reader would do the things don't show up in stats. Yeah, like man, that was a mistake. I feel that to me felt like a Whitworth level mistake, and I want to stop making.
He character
I want to stop making those.
Guy. Yeah, you should have kept him. I know. I think it's like I hate hindsight, but I was saying that back then. I was like, I wanted to keep him. So,
Brad, I'm asking about Hubbard and keeping him as a backup, not a starter. You know what? I think Hubbard can still be a starter. He was hurt. Now we can question why he was playing hurt. That's a valid question, but I think Sam Hubbard still got when he looked like he lost a step, he was hurting. So
I mean, I'll put it
he's
this
still
way.
Fine.
What I said earlier is I want to bring him back because he's a locker room guy that I don't think we can lose. I don't necessarily know if I bring him back as a starter, but I bring him back, and if he's healthy and he's the best you got, then you start him. But the problem is he hasn't been able to stay healthy the last 2 years. But I would bring him back, as a rotational piece is what I would do.
Crypt Keeper, apparently checkdowns drive him crazy. Hey, checkdowns are great. If we can get the ball out quickly, and Joe needs to, as long as we have that checkdown option, I see Mahomes do it all the time.
Yeah.
So might as well. I'm down with that. Tomlin, Augie, exactly. Tomlin won a ring with Cowher's team. Since then, so it's funny because I guess that's the way it is. Tomlin gets credit for winning that ring. No one remembers it's Cowher's team.
But the thing
Zach
is, Centennial Holmes
shit
still
on for his record, which started out abysmal with Marvin Lewis's team, even though that wasn't his squad. So I guess that's
for the record, Centennial Holmes still hasn't come in bounds yet, just from that touchdown. I'm just saying.
T. Brookie, rewatching the Patriots game, Joe Burrow played bad. One of his only games he cost us.
The whole team played bad.
Let me hop over to what I'm working on because Tommy talked about that. Tommy, William, and Zach, I loved hearing. He said we've got to do better being fast out of the gate. Now, don't ever misinterpret the idea that they didn't place any importance on getting out faster. Him saying that they're shooting for that December ball is trying to mitigate people feeling bad about, like, trust me, they all got ripped for whatever performances they do on a regular basis. Zach is not going to come out on a presser and talk about who's a piece of shit and who's not early on. He's going to focus. He's going to remember who you are. We're going to go on a run. Now, Zach expected to run faster. The run did not mean run to 4-8. I promise you that.
It usually starts in November.
It was supposed to be better than that.
Yeah.
But to the September point, people say I'm making excuses. We're going to find out. We're going to find out because, knock on wood, Joe's going to be healthy this offseason. We have not had a healthy offseason. We've not had a healthy training camp with Joe Burrow since his rookie year. Think about it. Everybody think about this and nod your head like, holy cow. Yeah. He has not been healthy since rookie year. People try to tell me, oh, well, he was healthy this year. He admitted they were doing pain management, managing reps with his wrist from the very beginning. He came out after the bye, I think it was, and he said, I now started to practice throwing on the run. And it took how many weeks? Mm-hmm. And that became, we know that's a big part of his game. No one was asking where it was. I was wondering. And then Joe said it. Well, and I'm like, there we go. And then he went on an absolute monster tear.
And you bring that up because I remember Dustin, who comments here all the time, beginning of the year, we were having conversations that does Joe have happy feet? What's going on with Joe? And where he couldn't get out, and like you just said, he couldn't get out and get on the run and throw the ball like he used to. So that makes more. That just you saying that triggered. I remember having those conversations on this show. So yeah, there's obviously something wrong. He played so much better after he got it going there.
So now, I'm going to rip through. I'm going to rip through some numbers. I'm sorry, I'm not going to show you all anything because I'm working on something. But
right, what do you got?
Pro Football grades for the year. Okay, 2024, he's passing grade 92.8. Okay, in 2022 and 2021, we're over 91. This was his best year. So Joe for the year usually sits in the 90s. The 2 years he dipped, rookie year 74, he got hurt, and he was a rookie. In 2023, you remember he started out with the hamstring, and I'm going to get in the numbers.
Well, appendix too.
Abysmal and 76. So his average, you expect Joe to be in the 90s. He's a number 1 overall pick. I don't think it's a poor expectation for him to be in the 90s. He's also running an offense that he wants to run. He likes to be in shotgun. He likes to survey the defense. He likes to make those pre-snap reads. That's who he is. Yeah, we got to mix it up, and we've mixed it up more, but that's who he is. So 2024, work backwards. New England, his offensive grade was 62. His passing grade was 67. I've always talked about that number, 70. 70 is an average, just an average starter, not even a Pro Bowl, just your average NFL starter. He wasn't there. All we need him is 70 and above, except for this year because when he was above 70 and the defense sold, that was a problem. But prior to, he had it was like a 99% chance he was going to win if he had over 70. 67 passing grade. Against KC, offensive grade was 67, still under 70. His passing grade improved to 74, but what dinged him was that fumble 6. What dinged him was I believe we had that wide open look in the end zone where he could have ran it in and didn't. And I feel like we had to settle for a field goal. So he got his run grade in that was 38, which is a low run grade for a guy who secretly is really good with his legs. So we start out in the 60s in 2024, 2 losses. 23, hamstring. Remember the rainy game against Cleveland? Couldn't move. 43, one of his lowest grades ever. And then he follows up again against Baltimore under 70. He couldn't move. But again, that's an issue. Now you look at the statistics against New England this year, 164 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a fumble, but he recovered it. KC, 2 touchdowns, 63% completion, 250. Pretty good day, but he's a different guy later. You just give us that New England game, it's a different season. Last year, Cleveland, 45% completion percentage for 82 yards. 82 yards. Joe Burrow threw 82 yards in a game. That's insane. Baltimore, he only threw 222, but he had 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. That last pick, he said that Baltimore fooled him with the defense. If he had the reps that he needed, he probably would have been a little bit sharper. 2022, and we're almost the end. He opened up against Pitt. Remember all of the turnovers. 54 grade. He followed up against Dallas, under 70 again. Now that was Jeff. That was the appendicitis.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was the appendicitis.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Still recovering from the appendicitis. I mean,
and
the dude's a warrior.
No, that wasn't the calf. Never mind.
Appendicitis.
Calf was last year. Sorry.
Yep. Dude's a warrior. Love that. Should we game plan around him? Should we have started? Now, if you want to make an argument that coaches should have started Jake Browning, all right, we can debate that because I'm not going to say that it's an ignorant idea because is 100% Jake Browning better than 50% Joe Burrow? You've got a good point if you make that argument, but it's these performances. So 2022, Pittsburgh sacked 7 times, 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles, lost one of them. Now he came back hardcore. He ended up with 2 touchdowns, 338 yards, and we still only lost because we lost our long snapper.
That's the only
insane.
reason we lost that game.
Now, if Joe was 100% healthy, we would have steamrolled him.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't. Dallas, 199 yards with a single touchdown. That's not our Joe. We know better. Joe should have carved them up. Joe, he didn't. He could have died. Like, that's crazy. 2021, he's coming back from a repaired knee. 2021, opened at Minnesota. Passing grade 67. The day wasn't too bad. You know, there were opportunities there, and guess what? Because 261, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, we won. Boom. That was great. Then we lost Chicago. I don't know how his PFF grade was 65. Like, that's high for me because sacked 5 times, 3 interceptions, and weren't they 3 in a row? Do you remember that? Yeah, against Chicago. Yeah. It was like back to back to back. It was insane.
You might be right. I know it was 3.
2 in a row.
Yeah, it's at least 2 in a row, I think. I don't know if it was 3.
At least. And I'm wondering about 3. 207 yards. That's it against that team. Like, no. And then rookie year, yeah, I'll give him all the. I mean, he only lost by 3 against the Chargers, but it was 190 yards.
Augie said it was 3 in a row. Yep, Augie said
3 in a row. Man, see, I unfortunately remember everything. 193 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick, and his passer grade was 64. And then against Cleveland, we almost come back, lost by 5. Again, under 70. Now, good game, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was Marvin's defense. And the heartbreaker with wasn't that the heartbreaker with Baker Mayfield throwing the dot at the very end of the game in the corner of the end zone. Yeah. That was a lot to say. I took up a lot of time. I apologize. But there are your first 2 weeks of every year of Joe Burrow. I'll give him a pass as a rookie because he still balled out. And it was a lot of – I mean, A.J. Green was washed, unfortunately. That was the fact.
Well, actually, if you remember the first game ever, they actually won the game. The refs missed the call on the touchdown pass to A.J. Green against the Chargers. I always remember that because I'm like, you got it. Because I remember this. I'm like, holy crap, his first game, he's going to bring us back and win the game. And then the refs blew it.
So. That was ticky-tack.
That was very ticky-tack. That was terrible. That was awful.
You know, it wasn't as bad as actually taking a legitimate touchdown away from us like New England this year.
Yeah.
Which I'm saying, and that's another thing. Fans, you are allowed to call out the officiating. We've got stuff we've got to fix on the team. We know this. Everyone wants to talk about that. There is no shortage of people that wants to complain about what we need to do and screw the front office, screw Zach, screw all that. There are plenty of people you can see. No one is actually going after the league. And I'll tell you right now, the league is the fan of the year stuff. We got a meeting with Roger Goodell with all the other fans of the year.
Yes! Cap's going to bring it up, say, this is bullshit. You've been screwing the Bengals, and I'm tired of it. We're with you, Cap.
I don't think that they will kick me out.
but you can try.
I don't understand. I don't understand how here's the way I see the people that tell me that I need to shut up about talking about the officiating. I see them as we're going to just back down. We're going to let the league dictate that every other team gets an advantage, and we're going to just sit here and take the NFL screwing us, and it's going to be A-okay because we could have done better. I'm sorry. That's kind of like the chair in the corner of the hotel room, y'all, for everybody that gets that reference. I'm not sitting in that chair. And Jeff, if you don't get it, well, I'll tell you offline. I'm not sitting in that chair because, yes, we can hold our team accountable, and we do. it's okay to hold the league accountable too. Do not set a different bar, because you know what? The Chiefs have played horrible games this year. The Chiefs have made a million mistakes, and they deserve to lose, and they got bailed out.
They always get bailed out.
I'm not even asking to get bailed out. I'm asking
just call it correctly.
When Gesicki catches a touchdown,
it's a touchdown.
You call it a touchdown, and you review it, and it's a touchdown. Don't overturn it and then apologize later. No, absolutely not. So they've got to do better. And I challenge you, Bengals fans, you are allowed to bitch about the officiating. Yes, you are.
Dusty goes, you know how the NBA ratings have slipped. NFL better be careful of the officiating in the game played. It's awful. Over half the teams in the NFL were 3 and 5 win teams. No good. Now, one thing I will say about this, the officiating is awful. NBA product is nowhere close to what it used to be. The NFL product, as far as the games go, are way better. But I do agree that the officiating has got to. I've said this. Why don't they have full-time officials? Why? Why? And why can't you buzz down? Like, if we're buzzing down for certain calls, like, I don't know, the face mask call that didn't get called on Joe in the Dallas game, I don't know, one of the 5 face mask or pass interference calls on the 2-point conversion against Baltimore. Why can't you? Hey guys, you missed about 5 things.
They literally did that with Cleveland,
right? So why don't they do that? Why don't they do?
And they're talking about the review, the booth review.
That's my question. Why don't they? Why don't they?
How am I just now hearing this? As a Cincinnati Bengals fan, I've never heard of this New York review. What in tarnation is that? We're just some Cincinnati bumpkins. We ain't heard of no review. Like, are you?
My question is, why don't they do it? There's so many games this year, especially the freaking Baltimore one. That one sticks in my craw. There are 5 different penalties on one 2-point conversion, and you didn't call any of them.
They ignored them. That is purposeful. They ignored them.
That's just. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You can't. I can understand maybe missing one. And the face mask call in the Dallas game, Burrow's neck about got broke. How you could see it on the review? Dumbasses. Yeah, you missed a face mask. You might want to go back and review that here. I'll show you the tape.
We were in the stands and we saw it. I don't understand how you can't. Are there not enough officials on the field? We'll put more officials on the field. They don't really make that much money.
Right, to put more officials, make them a full time. I don't know, the guy in the eye in the sky. Freaking give him the power. If they blow something, then call it out. That's all we're asking. Call the stuff out that is actually happening in the game. If I can see it and Cap can see it on TV, then the eye in the sky can see it, and you should buzz down and say, "Hey, you effed up again. 1, you're fired because you suck at you got to do better at your job, and 2, we're fixing this." I mean,
Holmes is asking Biggs priority in the draft, and I'm saying BPA. I think we're going to be set up really well for BPA. What do you think, guys?
To me, it depends on what we do in free agency. If we sign some people, where that goes, because
we got to start hitting free agency pronto.
We got to hit. I want to get T and Jamar out the way, hopefully quickly, and have their contracts done, and then all right, let's go hit free agency and see where we're going to hit. I wouldn't mind having a guard or a interior defense lineman or an edge rusher.
Yep.
Those are the 3. Yeah, those are the 3 right there for me.
All of my mocks, first round ends up Igbuka falling, which I'm like, all right, I'm going to take him. If he's there, I'm going to take him. And then things get weird with the offense. William Wilson, hope Burton gets his act together. Yes, praying for Burton. Man, dude.
He's a good dude. I've met him.
Get some help.
I like him. Yeah.
Rage, Captain Ice, y'all willing to give a first-round pick for top-level guard player?
I was going to bring that one up. I'm glad you got that one.
Yeah.
I would.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it's somebody who's worth a first rounder, absolutely.
Right, why not?
I used to be like, hey, draft capital. You could, you know what? If the numbers work, absolutely. Yeah. Somebody who's gonna, because I'm saying I said it on one of my lives. Bengals 25 all in. Hashtag Bengals 25 all in. We need to go all in. We need push the dollar amounts of the future. Just think, Daddy Goodell's going to pay you back someday because it's going to happen. We're going to win. If we go all in, we're going to win the Lombardi, and all of the incomes are going to go up, and we're going to make that money back. all in. We've got the team. We've got the offense.
And this is one that has to be done.
Trey.
Yeah,
we need to get Trey. Trey deserves it. Trey needs to retire. I want him to retire here. Absolutely. Yeah, Dustin, how much did you guys butt pucker up, dude? After the hit Burrow took, I immediately dropped my hands in prayer, like immediately. I'm like, dear God, no, this can't be. I had so many horrible, dark thoughts at the same time.
Dude, I was back to watching the Washington game when Burrow hurt his knee. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, get up.
What do you think Zach would be fired if Joe got hurt Saturday night? No. I don't think so. But the offensive line's got to improve, and that's why they did fire Pollock. Augie, each year Joe played a full season. He set franchise pass touchdown records each and every year. He played a full season. Got a couple of bounces and calls go our way. He's the MVP hands down. Oh, absolutely. One call and he's MVP. If they give us the touchdown they owe us, he's MVP. Which that's why, like, people get on me talking about the officiating. Like, oh, it's weak, it's lame. No, the NFL admitted you cost Joe Burrow an MVP and playoffs. What would we have done? It doesn't matter. You cost Joe Burrow MVP because, sorry, we took a touchdown away from you.
And they got to call the damn hits on him. He takes more hits, late hits, than anybody.
That's something else I want to ask Goodell about.
And the offensive line, and the thing is, I'll put this on the offensive line too. They got to start doing something. Go get a 15-yard penalty for knocking Burrow. I'm tired of the Burrow just getting back up and not saying anything. The offensive linemen need to go up and stand up for him. Somebody's got to stand up for him. This is getting ridiculous.
Yep. Okay. So getting through Chicago stuff. MV pro season. NFL said touchdown should have counted against the Patriots. Yeah, we all felt that in the stands. It's like, okay, they specifically changed the interpretation of the catch rule to avoid all the drama about, okay, if you catch it and your football move and your feet are down, it's done. No, slow-mo for hours trying to figure out if the ball shift. No. They simplified it. It's been that way. It's been that way for every other team except us. And it was a touchdown. Like, they ruled it on the field, and they saw enough evidence with that rule, and they're the ones with the books in New York. Shady. They did that on purpose. They did it on purpose. They knew what they were doing, and they apologized for it. And sorry,
guys, messed up again the day after.
Get low. I appreciate it.
Refs.
Jeff Snellen, appreciate it. Yes,
They should fine refs. Yes, I agree with that completely. They should be held accountable for their screw-ups.
Yep. A lot of people talking about Joe and the penalties. Yeah, Joe needs to get those. So just FYI, the Bengals team complains to the league office. They do. Maybe it's time for the fans to complain too. What if they got like 100,000 letters, just bulk mail? Bam. Let's do it. Let's talk online and try to do something like that.
Got to do something.
More
can't keep
fine refs. A lot of people find. Yeah, y'all are smart. Fine refs. Absolutely. Van Pelt mentioned the face mask in Dallas after the game. Jeff, I didn't know that.
He did that Monday night. Yep, I remember he's even talking about it. I'm going, if he's talking about it, he's like, how do you miss that? And I'm going, yeah, I agree with that. How do you miss that?
Augie's bringing up the supposed rule. I didn't look it up, but I believe people talking about it that if two guys land, it's not a penalty for body weight, which is super weird. But for me, two guys didn't land. Like, one guy was in on the tackle, but he didn't land. One dude landed and drove him in. The other dude was kind of like an accessory. So
either way, they landed with their full body weight on him. That's a penalty. Supposed to be anyway. If it's two guys, one guy, whatever. That should have been a penalty in my. They drove his head into the ground, Cap. His head went into the ground. How is that not a penalty?
No,
if Patrick Mahomes, they did a Patrick Mahomes, they'd go to jail.
Dude, it's insane. Now you see that, and I was like, I saw the replay. I'm like, that did not look. That's a shitty grass field. So I'm like, I get it. It's cold, but it's probably softer. I'm like, what happened? And I'm sitting there thinking, like, was it his neck? And then you see him like on the sideline, and he's like, oh yeah, he got his neck crunched. and that is not a good feeling. Because immediately if you get it crunched good enough, and so I've had an accident on a trampoline that two things, my wrist, my back of my fingers touched my arm.
Ow.
You can just imagine, and everything just turned black. It was disgusting. I'm lucky there was no
How did you
surgery
do
required.
that?
Dude, a large man. So you and I are jumping on a trampoline, and then I'm on the bottom, and then I just look up, and the sun is blacked out, and it's dark as night. Yeah, I mean,
big man coming down.
I mean, it's a trampoline. I should have just laid my arms out. Like, what's going to happen? No, I put my wrist out like an idiot. Like, I'm going to stop. I think he was 300 pounds.
Oh, God.
And no, it bent backwards. So that was one injury. And then another on a trampoline, my neck, same thing. But I think I was head first.
You need to stay off trampolines. I think.
Yeah, I haven't been on one since. But yeah, you get your neck crunched. It's rough. So
shoot, I grew up in the 80s.
Gino,
man, the
Baltimore
trampolines.
game was peak imperfection. Yeah,
I grew up in the 80s. The trampolines we didn't even have nets. You had the springs, so your legs would fall in between the springs, and you just fly off the sides. That was a trampoline. We remember that was a probably trampoline you had. We didn't have those safety nets.
No, not at all. I don't think they were invented, man. Like it. Just,
no, they weren't. The one we had for my kids, it had a net in there, and I'm like, that's way better because I did some of the dumbest crap on a trampoline when I was little, and you could just jump right off right to the ground there, or your legs would fall. Remember your legs falling in between the springs? Oh, that would hurt.
Dude,
that would hurt so bad.
And for me, it was always a big dude that mistimed his jump, that hit the side. The hit the side of the aluminum, and then you always went over to that one friend's house that had the bent trampoline that no one could use anymore. But it's so big they couldn't get rid of it, so it just sat there.
Yeah. And you gotta go jump on it, and then it falls over, collapses. Yeah.
Man, hey, chat, you all have been amazing tonight. Thank you for all the talk.
How do we not kill ourselves?
Appreciate
in the 80s?
it.
Huh, Cap? How do we not kill ourselves in the 80s?
Dude.
Some of the dumb stuff we did.
But you know what? It makes you wonder about how kids are getting raised today. It's like, hey, we were just fine. Like I put all kinds of shit in my mouth and stuck keys in the outlet of the house, and I'm gonna fix this outlet and stick metal keys in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Like the lights go out. Mom's like, "What happened?" I'm like, I don't know.
I just got this little twitch afterwards. It's fine.
Man, well, I turned out fine. Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
Yeah, the shit.
Water hoses, Gino. Water hoses. Yeah, you used
to
get out of the water hose all the time.
All the time.
All kinds of wild animals doing God knows what around the tip of that water hose. Didn't matter.
The slip and slides. The slip and slides that down there was.
Michael Madden. Exactly. Like fearless. Didn't care.
Oh, dude.
I knocked the wind out of myself so bad. Doing that one time, fell flat on my back. Couldn't breathe. I thought I was dead. I thought I'm like, this is
well, we tried. I had a friend of mine who could swing, and I don't know how he did it. He'd swing and he'd flip off of it. I could not do that. I did that, and I caught myself like, oh! So I'm hanging upside down, swinging, trying because I didn't want to go make it all the way over.
So I've done that. It's funny because you can't build up the whole way. So you build up, but then there's like kind of like a wheelie on a motorcycle. Yeah. There's like a fulcrum that you have to hit.
Yeah.
And then that next swing back, you got to get everything in it. And that next swing forward, because if you just inch it up, you get to a point where you didn't give it enough. And then you got a chance of falling back and knocking your head on the bar. And I'm not going to tell you how I know this. But there's a middle point where you can't cross.
You can't cross.
You got to go extra.
You gotta go, or you're gonna hurt yourself.
Garbage, slip and slide, and forget about the tree roots sticking up.
Oh
Lord,
especially when it's ruined.
That ended some summers for me.
I fear kids today, they don't have all the dangers we had to teach us survival skills. Exactly.
That's why we rock.
Exactly. Degeneration X, baby. That's me anyway.
Exactly.
All right, Cap, you got anything else, or you want to keep going? Or you and who got to go? do something.
Hey, just real quick, Chad, you got any other questions? I mean,
I mean, we can hang out for a while. I got nothing else to do.
I'm as far as everything that went down. I'm a little worried about who we can pick up at O-line because I feel like there are not any good O-line coaches.
I have no idea who to get. I mean, all I know is Callahan, and he's in. Well, not know, but
William Wilson. Hey, Cap, ask Roger Goodell when you talk to him what he did. What did Mike Brown do to hate us so much? I will. I'll seriously. I probably will not get the green light to ask my questions. I'm
especially if you're blasting them out here. They're like, all right, never mind, Cap can't ask shit.
But I am, and I wouldn't say it like that. I would say, as a Bengals fan, we understand that our ownership often goes against the grain in voting situations. Has that had any impact to any league-wide opportunities? That's about a political, that's where I want to say, hey, Goodell, why don't we have any?
Hey, Roger, why do you keep fucking us?
Why don't we have any home primetime games? And Baltimore has them all. Why is it so skewed one direction?
Why can't we get one?
Could you try to be less obvious, Goodell? We know what you're up to, and we're not happy about it.
Exactly. All right, Tony Blaze in here says, talk about the offensive line coach. I just hope they don't get somebody from inside. It never works for the offensive line. Speaking for what Zach said, I didn't get that it was going to be from somebody from the inside. That's just, again, me interpreting. I think it's going to be somebody from the outside, to be honest. That's the way I think. T. Berkey, who'd be your top DC candidates? Dennis Allen, that'd be nice.
I'm going to throw out all those top names.
Yeah, those guys.
Part of me thinks that you get one of those top names. I feel like this is not scientific. Y'all can look this up and post about it and tag me. And if you find something good, I'll repost you. Hopefully get you some fame, follows, whatever. But I feel like any of these teams who end up hiring like a disgraced ex whatever who is just known to be this badass DC OC whatever. Mm-hmm. They did it and it worked. Mm-hmm. I feel like every single time it happened, they did well. So I'm like, okay, I'm all for it. Like, it doesn't have to be. Zim was talking about somebody. Zim and one of the other coaches, basketball coach, I can't remember. They were talking about somebody who was, the defensive coordinator for Colorado.
Colorado, yeah. A lot of people talking about him. Yeah.
And or what? No.
That's one of the names.
No. That's one of the names. Right. That was Game on Twitter who said that one. Zim and I can't remember who else said something about it was a crazy name, but a younger guy. And Zim was like, absolutely. So there are some unknowns to me, and I'm not in everything. That apparently could be great. I'm just going to pray that the team has the wisdom to make the right choice. And I mean, hey, my management style, bring some of the top players in, bring Trey in, bring a couple of the guys in and sit in on the interview, part of the interview.
And the thing is, to me, this is a very desirable defensive coordinating job because of who's on the opposite side of the ball. I mean, and guys that are on the defense, I think there is some talent there. But I do, people are like, oh, you might not get the top guys. But yeah, do you want a chance to win that? You want to come
here, give us an above average defense, like top half. The bar is super low, y'all. Top half. Get one of these. Get a head coaching job. If you're single, get a young girlfriend. Be Bill Belichick with 30 years younger. Like, get all the endorsement. Like, seriously, this is a hot job because all you got to do is keep the opposing team to like 25.
That's the thing.
We're gonna go undefeated.
Right. Exactly. That's a great point right there. It's like, again, you come here and be a DC. We've said this throughout this whole show. We don't have to have a top 5 defense. Middle of the road. That's all you got to do, and you can look like a freaking genius because of this offense. So, yeah.
Augie lives 5 minutes away from Goodell.
There
That
you
is
go.
absolutely hilarious. He got a 12-foot high wall. Hey, Augie, we got to talk. I got some drones. So, hey, I might just hang out with Augie for the weekend and bring some of my hacking equipment and get in that man's Wi-Fi and read his email.
Let's
We
go.
can solve this stuff fast.
Augie also says Rex Ryan said the same thing. It's a desirable one. Which Rex Ryan, I mean, I don't think he's going to be a defense coordinator. I think he's going to try to be a head coach somewhere. But I wouldn't mind getting him back, or not get back, but getting him as a DC. Somebody said. Somebody said. Where was it?
Brad said Zimmer from Dallas.
Yeah. I wouldn't be against it. I love Zim.
So there's some stuff I can't talk about there. I would be hesitant. I loved that time and that what was going on. I hate the fact that I just did that, but there's some things that I would pause.
All right, well, scratch him off the
It's
list.
not football. It's not football related. So it's like, well, if he can come in and coach a great defense, then do it.
And this is kind of what I've said too. Is that, well, what is something off the radar that nobody is talking about that you would like to see the Bengals do differently? That could be anything. Well, for me, off the radar is getting a younger defensive coordinator, a guy that nobody knows, a young, hungry guy. That's kind of something where I would say it's off the radar.
Hey, I'm gonna go way weird and say, Bengals, give me a call. I will help you out for free, but let's talk about AI and what it can do for your entire football operation, top to bottom. I guarantee you, other teams are already looking at it, and other teams will start bragging about it. It is not scary. I can secure it. I'm telling you what, let AI do some of the little pain in the ass tasks to free you all up to do the bigger picture stuff, the more creative things, the more impactful things. That's including Zac Taylor. Imagine being on the sideline and having every decision in front of you at a split second so you can concentrate on bigger issues. That's all I'm saying. AI. I would love to see the team. I want to see some job titles related to AI coming in the next year or two. That would be sweet.
Augie says, Cap, you got my number. Let's link up. Put our minds together. Can you imagine?
I guarantee I can hack his Wi-Fi. As long as I am within a mile of his home, I guarantee I can hack his Wi-Fi.
Ooh. Augie, Cap, hook up. We gotta get some stuff done here. Let's see.
Dustin, yes, Cap had ChatGPT, right? All marketing content, leveraging that scouting paper analysis. So, I don't want to say too much, but that is phenomenal. You know, ChatGPT handling a lot of communications for you, all that stuff. So there are a lot of jobs in Paycor that would make life easier.
There you go.
There's some football operation stuff. And it's funny because I had a good conversation with Chris Collinsworth in person one time. And
here's a guy.
I had another good compliment I'll never forget. He's like, you should come work for us at Pro Football Focus. And I couldn't contain my smile. But it wouldn't be in data. The pushing for the results side of, I don't know that they're doing what's on my mind. And I'm a little shocked that no one's done it yet. But I'm working on something, and I have a coach who's willing to help me fill in some of the blanks that could potentially be big. And honestly, I would let the Bengals have it for free. If we figured it out and completed it, I'd let the Bengals have it for free. Like, all right, you win the Super Bowl using this, give me whatever cut, and just promise me like these coaches won't grab it and go to another team, blah, blah, blah. Like literally, that would be amazing.
Speaking of former coaches, did you know Coach Kyle could play a guitar? Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That dude's talented.
Yeah, I was like, next time I get you on the show, I gotta get you to play the guitar. I didn't know he was.
Yeah, he can
talented that
sing
way.
too.
Yeah, I
Yep.
saw that. I like he's he impressed me very
He
much. So
he was a double major.
yeah, Cassie. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what we call Cassie. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a super smart dude. He is a super smart dude. So I think he's still gonna be coaching UFL.
Yeah, I think so. As far as looks like it, I don't think he got a. I wish the Bengals would bring him back. That'd be cool.
Hey,
You are correct. I can sing great. I mean, I am a phenomenal singer. Everybody's heard me on here, especially when Corey gets on here. Which Corey, if you're watching, I would love to have you back on the show sometime. I don't know where's Corey.
miss you, Corey. Oh man,
Miss you, Corey.
Say, got a Merry Christmas to him, and
Yeah, I got Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff, and then
got a Merry Christmas back. But he's hey, I get it, man. There was a lot. There's a lot of running, a lot of communication, and then the Bengals kept losing. It's like I don't blame him. But hey, Corey, we still love you. We're still thinking about you. Hope all's good.
Hopefully we get Willie in the Hall of Fame, then Ken and Corey. Which when are we going to find out? We don't find out till the week before the Super Bowl, right? For Willie.
Yeah, it's coming up. There could be some stuff leaking. Like I'm hearing good stuff about Willie. I really am.
Dude, it's 4 years in a row he made the final. Like, come on.
The thing is, though, with Willie, so this is what I've heard. And it's a fact that, like, I've talked about that before. There's no really good statistic on sacks allowed. So none of the voters are going to look up film. We kind of, if we want to do that, we kind of have to do that. And that's the thing. It's like, well, he was on bad Bengals teams, and they won't talk about him enough. They won't give him enough airtime to discuss.
But so is Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas on horrible Browns teams, and he made.
But Thomas is a radio go TV guy. Like he's out in the and Willie.
I know
not.
something. So somebody in the chat and other people brought it up on Twitter. How would you feel about having Willie as the O-line coach?
So I will say I have no problem with it. I've watched his videos. I feel like I could be a decent, if anybody ever has a football league that where a skinny lineman would excel, I'm your guy. If we
football
can have like weight restrictions on who can, man, I'm your guy. Like I got everything Willie taught in the videos that are available. I learned he's a great teacher. I think he would get these guys right. Coaching is a whole different animal. And to hear him speak how intelligent he is about the game, I don't see any reason that he wouldn't excel at it. So I would love to.
I would be fine with it. My whole thing with all of these coaching decisions, it's got to mesh with the philosophy that Zac has, and I don't know if
the
Willie's
philosophy
will or not.
that Zac and pitch and
that all has,
it is
it
a
has to
collective
mesh.
effort.
So that's my only thing. If it meshes, then absolutely. Do I think Willie could be a very good offensive line coach? Yes, I do. Is it he? I don't know. It depends on. They got to mesh together and sync and be in the same.
But it's just like
thing.
Salah. Bengals fans were like, "Oh, we want Robert Salah in Cincinnati." Blah, blah. Ooh, and I get it. The Jets are a dysfunctional organization, but you can be great at one thing and not be good taking that next step. I mean, it's different. So I don't know that about Willie. All I remember is like him cracking jokes that he doesn't want any part of it because of the BS and the politics and yada that and the fact that nobody would let him anyway because he'd tell him how to do it right. Willie. And I agree with him. I like what he's got to say. And I feel like he's super, like we don't have enough people out there like him. And man, I'm drawing a blank. I'm head cold and the medicine. Who's the O-line masterminds? Duke Manyweather. Yeah.
Oh, Duke Mayweather. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
on Twitter. Yeah, too.
I feel like people like that are so valuable because it's a Tom House of offensive linemen. So I hate to take that away because we need more. Like the Bengals need improvement for results on offensive line, but we need more offensive linemen that are quality in general. I feel like there's not enough, and quarterbacks everywhere are going to get killed. So
yeah, that's across the board in the NFL. The offensive line play is not good. Sith Lord, where do we go over here? Up. We're going up.
Exactly.
And we're going Super Bowl. That's where we're going. We're going up.
We look for a DC who can be hard nosed, but respect the players. Who's got energy? Who can yell? You want to hear him from the sideline. Somebody who's going to get these guys playing fast, not thinking, just playing and wrapping up. Like there's some simple stuff that we got to do. We got to do real well, and
if we can improve our tackling, help a ton.
And the fact that it could improve and then regress and then improve again.
Right.
And that constant battle back and forth, it's like, why do we keep forgetting or not doing what we're doing?
Right, yeah.
O-line coach, a whole different story for me. I don't know enough, but I'm going to trust them. We just got to find somebody who can get these guys playing it as a unit. And like somebody else said in chat, man, if we could just maintain what we've done at the level, and I realize what I'm saying, let me finish, and handle stunts well, that would be an enormous improvement because so many teams just kill us on stunts. So I'm not asking for a lot.
Well, one thing I'll say this, and I said this on the video or live I did earlier today, with the Bengals making these moves, and Zac said it's his choice. You know, he's the one that's in charge. Zac said it's his, which I have no problem with. I'm glad it's his. But to me, that means that what we did this season is not acceptable. And that, as Bengals fans, you should be excited about that. Going and barely making the playoffs back years is not acceptable. We are the benchmark is the Super Bowl. If we're not going for championships, it's not acceptable. And that's what Zac is. That's what that statement is today of firing these guys and moving on.
Everybody acts like the ownership and everybody doesn't care about winning. They act like Zac doesn't care about winning. No. This guy cares about winning.
Yes, sir.
And I can't imagine how difficult. And by the way, there's two of them because, of course, I had to get number one and number two of two. I can't imagine how hard that conversation was with him and Lou. So, and I get it. Like, it's easy for fans to say, "Oh, it's busy." Like, you gotta sack up, whatever.
Yeah, but they've been working together for the last 5 years. I mean, come on now.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
And Lou is responsible. Like, Lou cooking for that Super Bowl run is the reason why we made the Super Bowl.
It wasn't the offense. It was the defense. It was the reason we made it there. Holmes got a question here. He says,
well, hold on. Gino's asking about CTB. Gino, I'm going to make this promise. Mm-hmm. Cam Taylor-Britt will be back next season. He'll be returned to form. This is a temporary regression this year. I'm just going to say I don't know that he was focused where he needed to be focused, and that started to get fixed. He started making more play. Next year, that high ceiling, we thought he's going to be a star in the league. He's going to be back. Our secondary is going to be great.
That's the thing is, I'm not even worried about our cornerbacks, to be honest. I think our cornerbacks are actually pretty good. I mean, I'm never going to say not add to the room, but that's, to me, is lower on the level. Higher is getting an edge rusher, higher is getting an interior guy, higher is getting guards. Those then cornerbacks. But I would never say don't get a cornerback. But so I think
Holmes,
people think.
You had that question up. Is Zac Taylor on hot seat now if he does make the postseason next year, whenever his contract's up? So I've said this a million times. I support Coach. There are a lot of statistical data backed, like factual reasons I support coach other than just I think he's a cool guy. There are reasons. With that said, I've always said all the excuses will eventually run out. No matter what, someone gets hurt, referees take a game away from us, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, the results will catch up with everyone, and that includes Zac. If I'm Zac, I'm going all in. Like the whole idea, going all in and saying, listen, guys, we have coached a way, we have planned a way, we have prepared a way to allow everybody to be professionals and play the game that you want to play. Now it's time to step it up because that game is not good enough. We have got to be better. And it's going to mean harder practices. It's going to mean challenging each other more. It's going to mean, spending that time when you want to go over to Love on 4th after a game, and that is not calling anybody out because I've ran into players over there. I'm not calling them out. The one guy I'm thinking of right now actually was a bright spot on the upswing. So, but rather than going there, hit film, hit the weight room, get a late night workout in, like do the extra stuff because guys like Ray Lewis were always working out. Guys like Antonio Brown, always working on his craft. I'm sorry about his head, but
guys like Joe Burrow,
and he was somewhat normal. He was, if you want to be a Hall of Famer, if you want to make the big money, I want to make bank, bro. I want to drive a Range Rover. Step brother. You want to do that, then you got to put in the extra effort. Are you willing to do more than everyone else in your field in order to beat everyone else in your field? That should be the mindset of everybody in that organization. My seat would feel warm, and there is no way that we're not making the playoffs because
now.
If that happened, yeah, I think this ownership I'd be worried. I would be worried as hell if we didn't make the playoffs next year.
So my thought process is this. I think with these moves that Zac has done, if they don't work, he's made his seat hotter because he just came out and said it was his choice.
That's a good point.
To do it.
That's a good point.
So not only because like you just said, if they don't work, who are you going to blame? It was Zac's call. So, will they fire him? I have no idea. Depends on how next year goes. But to that point, Zac basically put the pressure on himself saying, it was my choice. He came out and said it. It was my decision to make these changes. And it's not a couple guys. It's damn near the whole offensive staff. So, it's big changes.
That is a good point because – people who think that I've seen people say Zac doesn't have a spine and this and that.
Oh, bull crap! Get out
of here. He put his cojones on the line because you make these choices and you don't find a better replacement. That doesn't fix it. You just made your job that much more difficult. You're going to be scrambling after every game trying to right the ship all season long, and he already spends a ton of time in that building. So. That's a really good point, and kudos to Zac for putting himself in an uncomfortable situation in order to hopefully come out on top.
Now, William here says we kept Marvin Lewis for 16 years, which you're right, we did. But we didn't have Joe Burrow. It's different. They know
this is special. They know that the front office, I promise you, knows this is special. They know.
That's where I'm like, good.
Love to see this team go on a dominant run and get Zac off hot seat. Zac and Co have done a shit ton for the culture shift. Time for the Lombardi making since he legend. Oh, I love a good underdog story, and I love the fact that he is unwavering in his process, and that we could learn some. If that man can bring a Lombardi to Cincinnati and write a book about belief in yourself, it'll be a hit. Holmes, I really hope we stay healthy, improve on defense, reach potential we know the team's capable of. Yeah, Lombardi. We all want that Lombardi bad. Lou was Zach's 5th choice stranger. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And that's no knock on Lou, because again, he really cooked us to the Super Bowl.
But the difference is now we have Joe Burrow. He's been able to get almost like if he offers this defense coordinator to somebody, the only reason they would turn it down is because they got a head coaching job somewhere else. Nobody's turning this DC job down.
Yeah. Wing Esser. I have not seen that name. Welcome and thank you for the comments. Talking about some other people, they went out as well. You can do both. Jamar definitely goes out. That's thank you for saying that. The guy that I'm thinking of that I ran into, he put a lot of work in. He got more snaps.
I was there.
he showed he should have been getting more snaps all year.
Yes.
And Jamar obviously is a pro's pro. Like that man, he's in the weight room. He's always getting his body right. He can do both. And all these young guys have to do is, all right, follow the leader. Follow in their footsteps. Here's a catch. Maybe for Jamar, the time spent in the weight room comes easier to him. Maybe some of the stuff that he does on the field comes easier to him. If you're okay with being whatever backup level you are, then follow his footsteps, do what he does, go out when he goes out, have fun, do what you do. We need role players on the team too. If you're not happy being buried 7 layers behind Jamar, you're going to have to outwork Jamar. And that is a tall task. But that's what these guys have to understand. I'm like, I can't imagine being 24 and a millionaire, or 24 making 6 figures playing football, any number of scenarios, with all these women wanting to be with you. It would be tough.
How come you get that all the time? Everybody sees the beard with you. They're like, "Oh my God, it's Cap." Oh,
I'm in my 40s and I'm having a blast. My 30s were light years better than my 20s. So some of these guys are living it up for their 20s. Joe Burrow is at home right now. Joe Burrow was at home after the game that we saw and hung out and partied. Like, Joe Burrow went home. Joe Burrow is the man is setting himself up that when he is near retirement and still as hot as hell and in shape, but a billionaire, he can have anybody he wants if he doesn't have somebody at the time. Like, there's a time and a place. And if you just sacrifice a few years as a young player in the league and really build up that foundation to be Pro Bowler, to get that big first contract, you're set. Just sacrifice a little bit.
Wing says JoJo's going to bed right now.
Yeah, man, he's 7:30 probably. Like he's under the blankets watching SpongeBob. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Hold on, Kevin had something here I wanted to.
Yeah, we need to sign T and Chase early. Yeah, I want that bad. Yeah. I don't care. I want T. I hope that gets done.
Man, I said that earlier in the broadcast. I want that done quick before free agency even starts. I want that done. It needs to be done.
Wing Esther's making me nervous. He's like, I know who you're talking about being out. Making me nervous. He knows. Oh no. I'm looking at. I didn't realize the little tiny picture. All I saw.
That's a picture of her and Jamar.
The F in the little preview is covering her up. Okay. So Jamar.
Well, us three know who.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was there. So one time I was there.
Hey man, I want to go back. That was a blast.
Yeah. Corey.
But we got to go to Tallulah? That's also jumping. So one of the girls that was like bouncer at E&O left, and she grabbed me. She's like, I saw you at fourth. I saw you got some moves. I'm like, nobody wants to talk about Cap's dance moves.
Oh, dude, Cap's dance moves are just freaking elite.
But I thanked her, appreciated it. I had a great time. You let her know I had a great time and stuff. And she's like, "Oh, but you got to get over to Tallulah. Apparently, she DJs over there, so we got to get over to Tallulah too." So, there you go. Joe, 7 p.m. sharp, just like Benjamin Buttons. He's very disciplined. Yep, absolutely.
Exactly. Not everybody can do that.
No, I'm going to be up till midnight, 1 p.m. Probably playing Black Ops 6.
I won't be. I have to go. I actually have to try to go to work. I actually shoveled my. How much? By the way, how much snow did you get up there?
I haven't been outside the house yet. Actually,
have you looked out the window?
It looked like about 4 inches. All I did was shovel a path for my little tiny chihuahuas,
Dude,
so that they could poop.
We have a foot. I did a foot. Me and my girls were out there shoveling. I'm like, I gotta go to work at 3:00 this morning. So pray for me because I'm gonna be freezing my off at work tonight. So it's
well, they're little. Nobody will know if they freeze off. So
yeah,
I'm kidding.
It'll be like.
I still got a Christmas gift for you. Remember, I got to get that to you.
No, you do. Oh, that's sweet. I haven't got.
So I'll just tell you, it's a really awesome ratcheting screwdriver with all the bits inside the handle, and it ratchets both way. Man, like this, I swear, I grab that thing all the time. I've never had a screwdriver I love so much, and I figure you would appreciate it because you're always fixing shit.
I'm always fixing shit. It sucks. I'm tired. I like somebody else to fix shit, so I don't have to do it.
Well, when that day comes, you can hand them the baton, which is the screwdriver.
There you go. All right, got anything else you want to say here? We've been over an hour and 35 minutes, and I smell dinner. So fat guy smells food.
I gotta get to eat. Gino, I love you.
Gino's awesome. Gino, is it Gino Stone? Is this Gino Stone? Welcome to the show.
I don't know. I was questioning Gino Stone's play, so I don't know if Gino Stone would be this nice.
Oh, dude, I forgot to tell you. When we were doing, I think it was the last show at Newport on the Levee, guess who? I was zoned in just talking. I saw him when he left, but guess who sat there, or at least stood there and watched us for maybe 5 minutes? It wasn't Gino Stone. It was Logan Wilson.
Nice.
I was like, and I go, I just saw, and I find, you know how you get to your places. I see people, but I'm talking, so I'm trying to, concentrate on what I'm doing. And all of a sudden, I just kind of come to going, hey, and I really like Logan Wilson too. He's a really good football player because I just saw him. I'm like, dude, was that Logan Wilson? Well, and everybody's like, yeah, he was standing there watching for a couple minutes. I'm like, that was pretty cool.
That's great. Anyway. Brad, great show tonight. Ice Cat Brad, appreciate you. Thanks. But yeah, back to Gino. Gino said, I feel like you'd be a great Fox commentator. Man, that is a huge compliment. I love you for that. I appreciate you. That's great. And I don't know. It's probably because I got a cold. So, I tend to accidentally forget
deep voice.
to relax and speak in my natural tone. Instead, I get all amped up and my voice goes higher. And,
hey guys, how are you? It's Bengals Captain. It's so nice to see you.
I need to chill.
Yeah.
I will say part of what you think is so great is thanks to Iceman here, because without this little spot every Monday, I was too lazy to keep my show going. Without this little spot Monday, I would never have improved, because the more you do this, the more you improve. To the point where, like, my eye contact with the camera's better. I rarely flub things that I'm trying to say. It's a lot.
You do a better job of that than I do, because me reading sometimes are still bad.
Well, that's different. Reading sentences on, that's different. And I have a teleprompter.
I have a hard time reading.
I have a teleprompter in front of me, so that I can do that a little bit easier. But yeah, I thank you, Ice, for having me on so much and helping me with this, because I definitely feel a lot more confident.
We've been doing this Monday show for 4 years now. We started in 20. I think we started 21 with the Super Bowl run.
Augie, Cap, you're pro, man. Y'all are too kind. I appreciate the hell out of you. That's too nice.
Is that true? You think we started in 21? You and me started doing the show on Mondays at 21?
I don't remember anything. I don't remember yesterday.
You remember Bagel Plays.
Some of the guys want to come on the show. We need to connect soon. Wing Esther is.
Oh yeah, I got her number.
Somebody. Okay.
I got her number. Oh yeah, we're gonna connect. Yeah, we've been talking.
Good little surprise. Good to meet you. All right.
That's my girl.
That's Queen. Holmes, Esther. Cap, and Ice both have the radio voice. No, see, I feel like Ice has, and me. I'm just trying to catch Ice. Kevin, you ruled the jungle. What? Thank you. Ruling the jungle was an absolute.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Blast.
I'm glad he brought that up. I didn't get to even ask you about that, because I was at the railing watching you guys. And I remember what I kept telling you. before you went out there, I said, you deserve this. I said,
Yes,
remember,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Right. So it was awesome.
I got a video I got to cut together yet still because I got my POV of it. But man, I'm telling you, everything I thought went out the window. I forgot everything. I was just too hyped. I'm just jumping around. I think I had the OG staff, and it's all wood.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's not heavy, but if you notice, I kept just jersey fist pumping, and man, my shoulder was sore the next day.
You're like, what did I do?
Like, man, I'm jumping around, and if you look back at video of the beer chug, so again, I used to swallow like 22-ounce glasses of beer, whatever. Man, it has been so long since I've done anything like that, and I realized I might not be the biggest fan of Bud Light. I started chugging that, and I'm doing my best. I'm like, you know what? Let me get it down to a little bit. So I didn't want to dump it all over my jersey because it's fan of the year jersey I was wearing.
Yeah.
And I did it enough that when I spiked it, little spray everywhere. Jess was great because she started playing air guitar with her staff. I'm like, man, that's genius. Why didn't I think of that? It was so much fun. And all of the compliments and the people, because you see online people hide behind stuff like, oh, you guys suck. I have never gotten so many compliments about something I've done. Everybody loved the energy, and that means the world to me because I don't jump around just because I'm nervous, but it's part of it. I jump around for that energy. Like I'm fighting death, y'all. I am close to midlife crisis. I don't want to get old. I am fighting getting old. So I'm jumping around.
What do you mean? I'll be 50 in April. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not old.
See, hell no. we're gonna start saying 30 and locking in at 30. And
it's a mindset, baby. It's a mindset.
I look old for 30. Whatever. I am fighting it tooth and nail. I am not going out without a fight. Y'all can make fun of me. Some dude after that game, he's like, man, Cap, how's your beard still looking so good? I'm like, it's just for men shampoo. The key is you don't have to mess with like brushing stuff in and what. No, you just shampoo, and it just naturally starts getting darker.
You don't be like mine.
And he looks at me, he's like, really? I'm like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, yeah, I don't want a gray beard. So here you go, just for men shampoo. It's $8 on Amazon.
Not everybody can pull it off.
Subscribe and save. See, but you got a lot of gray. Like it's just great. That's a good look. Mine is patchy. I look all hillbilly with like weird.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Bengals Captain.
Yeah. So, like, if it went all gray, I would consider going all gray. But I'm fighting getting old. So I'm bringing the energy. I'm
right
yelling.
here.
I'm screaming.
Jeff says he's 55. We're in our prime. There you go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We're in our prime.
Jeff, you are too. Our prime, all of us, everybody in chat, is our prime was between 25 and 75. That's our prime.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, Cat Man. Well, I'll see you next Monday. I think we're gonna keep this rolling, and we'll be talking some playoffs, and maybe we'll have some idea who the Bengals defense coordinator will be. But you want to leave any final words for Houday Nation before I let you go?
Hey, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Wild Monday, a lot of changes are coming. It's all going to be for the best. If you can get tickets, you don't have tickets, get tickets now. Get in the wait list. Trust me, it's coming. Houday.
It's coming, baby. Houday. All right, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. My thanks to co-fan of the year, Bengals Captain. I got to remember to say co-fan of the year because Jess was the other fan of the year. They're not done yet. They get to go to the Super Bowl, and they get to announce one of the picks for the NFL draft. So their co-fandom is not done yet. Well, they'll always be fans of the Bengals, but, as far as the co-fan of the year goes. I appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the likes, wherever you're watching. We're watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you're on Facebook and you have an account on YouTube, please go over to YouTube and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it because I've been stuck at like 2,000 something subscribers on YouTube. And YouTube really isn't trying to help me out at all right now. So if you guys could help me out and go do it, that'd be awesome. I would appreciate it. Now, my shout out to all my sponsors here. Let me get to them here. All right. So we got Priority Lawn and Landscaping. I know there's no grass right now, but those boys have been out shoveling their asses off and plowing for probably over 24 hours. If you guys need anything plowed or anything like that, give Priority Lawn and Landscaping a call. And if you got any landscaping projects that you've been thinking about doing this upcoming spring, give them a call at 513-430-6114. Again, that's Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to my favorite people, Tim and Nicole from Midwest Best Barbecue. Go check them out there when the roads get clear, which I don't know if they were open today or not. They will be opening maybe tomorrow. I hope. I have to, but go out there. They're Wards Corner Avenue exit. Get you some CTB wings, Uno wings, some Dillinator wings. Again, it's Midwest Best Barbecue. And shout out to my boy Matty Myers and his family window company business, Meyer Windows and Doors. Check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com. I will tell you this: I got them in my house, and my house has been nice and warm. It's been nice and cold out there, but it's been nice and warm in here. Again, shout out to Meyer Windows and Doors and my West Side peeps. Go check out Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game, right there in the heart of Cheviot. Big ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks, and an awesome, awesome bar. Now, normally I would say we'd be live tomorrow night. We were supposed to have been live tomorrow night at Moore and Lager House. But with the White Death we've had, the show, the restaurant will be open tomorrow, but the show will not happen tomorrow. It tentatively is scheduled for next Tuesday, and I think we're going to continue it. We're working on some details of how often we're going to do it and just different things there, different specials and stuff like that. So it should be back at Moore and Lager House next Tuesday. But I will be live at Millions Cafe Friday night. You guys should check it out. It's a very interesting show there. Could we give the phone to, or give the mic to drunk people? And it's a very interesting conversation sometimes. So check us out at Millions Cafe. We'll be there live at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8 o'clock. Get there, have some fun. Yeah, let's hear. Who did love you all? Okay, I think that's it. I think I want to end this thing. Good show. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. Real quick here. I like I said, I'll leave you guys with this. I think Zac Taylor has, for anybody who doubts if Zac Taylor's in charge, I think for him coming out and saying the decisions are mine, where he basically blew out the whole defensive side of the ball. This season wasn't good enough. The goal is to compete for a Lombardi. These moves say that because, all right, let's just put it this way. Back in old Bengaldom, what they did the last 5 games would have saved their jobs. It would have. Mike Brown would have kept them. Zach said it's not good enough. We got to do better. Something's got to change. That right there is winning football, and that's what winning organizations do. Now it's up to Zach and Duke to get the right people in here. I think we got to get guys where, like I said, where it meshes. The offensive line and the run game, it got to mesh with what Zach and Pitch are doing. Defense coordinator, he's got to be able to develop young players. He's got to not be scared to play them. Those are the keys to me. Who that is, I don't know. I am not scared of a no-name guy. I'm not scared of a retread. You know, I trust in Zach that him and Duke will make the right decisions. Duke has got to do, I say this, Duke's got to do a better job of drafting. He did this year. I think our draft, they hit the draft out of the ballpark. This offseason, it's going to be a very fun offseason. I'll put it this way, because we got a lot of stuff to keep track of. First of all, who should be your defensive coaches? Who should be your offensive line coach? Are they going to have a running game coordinator? How's all that going to play out? Hopefully, very quickly before free agency starts, you sign T, you sign Jamar, you get that out the way. Then you concentrate on free agency. And then you got the combine. And then you got the draft. And then we're back in OTAs. And then before you know it, season's starting. And we're rolling. It's going to go by quick. We got a lot of stuff to pay attention. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Stick with me. I will do my best to try to get you the best information that I have. My opinion, fun. I try to get some good guests on here. You know, I'm in pretty good with most of the beat writers with the Bengals. So make sure, guys, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Share the show out, because the only way the show grows is because of you guys. Anyway, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll see you. So tomorrow we will do our normal Tuesday show. It just won't be at Moorline. I think all the boys are going to join. And we got to talk to Harrison because, one, he went to Pittsburgh. Two, he said the Jets, I think it was Jets and the Kansas City won, that he was going to run out butt naked. I think good thing for everybody that didn't happen, but the man's crazy. You should follow Harrison. He's going to be on tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. So our normal Tuesday show will just be not at Moorline House. So join us tomorrow at 5:30. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Throw it up. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!
Weekday nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's good light. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more.